Right everyone, it is Finn here and welcome to another Premier League prediction video, where from Sean Dyche all the way to Man City versus Tottenham, Premier League Matchweek 22 has a lot of hot topics to talk about. Obviously I do want to just disclaim to you guys before we jump into things that I am recording this on transfer deadline day. So by the time this video comes out, there might have been a lot of top transfers that haven't happened while recording yet.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Is it my smartest move to record today? Probably not, but we're going to roll with it anyway. But of course, without wasting any more of your time, jumping into game number 1 of Matchweek 22, we have Chelsea versus Fulham. Now looking at Chelsea, only 2 wins in their last 11 Premier League games, and losing to Fulham only about a month ago, things aren't looking good in Chelsea's favour. But of course, looking at Chelsea in their previous game versus Liverpool, although it was a 0-0 draw, there were some elements of Chelsea's play that I did quite like. And once again, it might just be a gut feeling, but I am going to go with the 1-0 win. Although Fulham in 7th place, I really wouldn't be surprised if they got the win here. Of course, big talking points about Chelsea is Mudryk, obviously his dribble versus Liverpool, which I have heard a lot of Chelsea fans say that they got as excited as when Hazard was at the club, which let's not compare the two players yet. One of them carried Chelsea to a Premier League, the other one dribbled past James Milner. There are levels to this game. Now next up, we have the Mikel Arteta derby with Everton versus Arsenal. Now looking at Everton, obviously they've got a brand new manager in the managerial box with Sean Dyche, the man who has milk and gravel in his cereal for breakfast.
I have gravel for breakfast. No.
Of course, as great as it is to see Sean Dyche back in the Premier League, I'm not sure if he's going to be the difference maker versus a team like Arsenal. Once again, Arsenal only one loss in the Premier League this season, and looking at Sean Dyche versus Arsenal, it is the second worst record he has versus any Premier League team, with 11 losses in 15 games.
Well, no, it's a fact.
As much as I want Sean Dyche to be the manager to make the difference, versus this very strong Arsenal team, I just don't see it happening. Game number 3 will be Aston Villa versus Leicester City. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this whatsoever because looking at Aston Villa, only 2 losses in their last 9 Premier League games. And Leicester City, once again, the Foxes, they've just been hunted this season. I'm sorry, Leicester City, but you are in real trouble at the moment. And versus Aston Villa and Unai Emery, I think they're going to have a really good evening. My jokes just aren't getting better, are they?
Good evening.
That takes us to Brentford versus Southampton. Once again, it's not going to be a hard prediction for me. I am going to give them a 2-0 win because looking at Brentford, the last time they lost in the Premier League, now remember what I'm about to say, was the 23rd of October.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Can we just talk about how underrated Brentford have been at the moment? And versus Southampton, who are currently dead last in the Premier League. Once again, I hate to be repetitive, but I can only see one winner here. Brighton vs Bournemouth is next. Now, interestingly enough, if you look at the history between these two teams, Bournemouth have really dominated this fixture with only one Brighton win in, 5-6 games, which is really weird to think about considering Brighton's recent growth over the years. But looking at things this time around, I do think Brighton will win it because, 6th in the Premier League. They've gone 3 games unbeaten versus Liverpool this season.
I prefer really not to speak.
This team just seems to get better and better and better no matter who they lose in this team. I will admit though that the Ghanaian striker Semenyo joining Bournemouth could be a brilliant signing for them. I do think he could be a revolutionary signing, but once again versus a very informed Brighton team, especially with Matoma up front. Once again, one winner here. My team Manchester United is next versus Crystal Palace. Now of course, although Manchester United have been brilliant this season, I'm really trying my hardest to forget the fact that we only drew to Crystal Palace about 2 weeks ago, and it's never an easy fixture versus Crystal Palace, especially considering their last 2 games they drew versus us and Newcastle United, 2 top 4 teams, so we really cannot underestimate their ability. But saying things this time around, I do think Manchester United should have things under control, and I do think that they should take this one 2-0. It could be a very tough fixture, but I'm hoping the Red Devils can do it. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Liverpool is next. Now looking at Liverpool, it was only a season ago the fact that we were talking about them maybe winning the quadruple. Now fast forward a year, they're 9th place in the Premier League, knocked out the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, and have absolutely nothing to fight for. How much worse could it get for this Liverpool team? It's not like they're fighting Real Madrid in their next Champions League game. Oh shit. But of course, jokes aside, looking at Wolves, I feel like there's a real possibility almost for Wolves to get a point versus this Liverpool team. But of course, saying that, last time in the Premier League, Liverpool did prove to be the stronger team here. And although I've got very little faith in them at the moment, I do think they will take this one 2-0. Newcastle United versus West Ham United is next, and what a fixture this could be. As we know, Newcastle United, the best defense in the Premier League at the moment, and West Ham United really struggling to score. I do think because of that stat, I am going to give Newcastle United a win here, and I am going to give them a clean sheet. I mean, the last time Newcastle United conceded in the Premier League was the 6th of November. You know how mental that is? Well, I guess you always do associate the Pope with clean sheets, but I never expected it in a football term.
Naughty, naughty.
Nottingham Forest versus Leeds United is next. Now looking at Nottingham Forest, I'm recording these videos before the Carabao Cup second leg semi-finals. Once again, great timing to film a video, Finn. Okay, so Nottingham Forest have just signed Keylor Navas, multiple Champions League winning goalkeeper, on a 6-month loan. What is this? But looking at Nottingham Forest, I can without a doubt say that they have been in better form than Leeds United. But of course, saying that defensively, they haven't been great. Where Leeds United, although they're not getting the results, can be really threatening on the attack. And for some reason, I've just got a feeling that they are going to snatch a 1-0 win here. Looking at them, they've just signed Weston McKennie, which that is one more American player added to this Leeds United team. And it is one step closer for Leeds United fans to call the beautiful game soccer. I don't like it.
Step back, I think I'm for a vomit.
Second final game, and maybe the biggest game of the match week, with Tottenham Hotspurs versus Man City. Now once again, you only have to look 2-3 weeks ago to remember last time these two teams fought against each other. Tottenham Hotspurs were 2-0 up and they lost 4-2. I think that really says it all, and as much as I kind of want Tottenham Hotspurs to do something this season, I do think Man City have proven time and time again that they are the better team, and I could see them getting a quite comfortable 3-1 win. And that takes us to our final game of the match week, Man United versus Leeds United. Of course, this is the second time both of these two teams will play in this match week. It is of course a postponed game from earlier on the season, but without wasting any more of your time, once again, although Leeds United have gotten Weston McKennie and I've got a tiny bit more faith in their ability versus a very informed Man United team, once again, I do think Marcus Rashford will cause a rash in the side of Leeds United. Whether it will be 3-0, I don't quite think so, but I think another 2-0 win is in order. But that, ladies and gentlemen, will be it for my Premier League match week 22 predictions. Once again, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a good old subscribe down below because, well, I mean, it helps my channel grow and I quite like seeing that number grow. But of course, don't forget to subscribe. I would appreciate it. It does mean that you get to see more of my videos in the future. Don't forget to like it down below, of course, if you want to see more as well. But guys, this has been Finn, FYNN, and until next time, cheers!